and welcome in today's webinar on creating personalized learning experiences for online schools. My name is Elisa and I'm here with the LearnWorlds team, and today we're going to explore the power of creating personalized learning paths for individual learner needs and different stages. All of this is going to be shown through scenarios and examples using the LearnWorlds platform. Now, while we're waiting for everyone to sign in, and I see that still a few people are doing that, let's get you a little familiar with the layout. So, towards the bottom of your screen, you're going to be seeing the chat section, so feel free to use that. Just drop a hello, let us know where you're joining in from, perhaps introduce yourselves. Now, that's not just a simple chat, it's also a live chat support, so if you have any questions during the presentation, feel free to ask those over there, or you can even use the Q&A section, and a member, an agent of our support team is going to be there to answer live again while I'll be doing the presentation. Again, we're just giving everybody some time to get settled, but besides that, you're probably also going to be seeing a little introductory poll, so we would appreciate if you took the time and a few moments to answer those questions, just so that we can get to know you a little bit better on who the audience and the attendees are. All right, so just a few more moments and we're going to be ready to start. Grab your water, your drink, or even a snack, whatever you think that you're going to need. And okay, I think we're ready to start, so let me make a few changes and change my screen. Okay, so here's my screen and hopefully you can see this. So now before we start, let me just say a few words about LearnWorlds. If you're new here, LearnWorlds has been around since 2014 and we serve some of the best course creators, training organizations and departments, coaches, consultants, and many, many others. LearnWorlds is an all-in-one solution. It has all the features you need to create, promote, sell, and deliver courses and other digital products online. You can start monetizing your experience and skills without a single line of code while providing the best learning experience for your clients. LearnWorlds clients admire the platform's ease of use and intuitive navigation, and today you'll be able to see that for yourself. So while we're here, we highly suggest that you create a trial of your own. You can do that from here. The process is very easy. Just fill this in. It's going to be completely free and it's going to last you for 30 days. We suggest that you do it now just so that you can use it along with us in the webinar in case you want to try to recreate some of the steps we're going to see. Now, besides that, let me also show you our Academy. So if you wish to explore more LearnWorlds features and possibilities with video content courses, you can visit the LearnWorlds Academy at academy.learnworlds.com. So this Academy is packed with self-paced, free guided courses and the most powerful features that we offer, core detailed courses that will guide you through the creation process, and training on new feature releases that will help you boost your success and confidence and skyrocket your business. Now, besides the Academy, we also have our Knowledge Base Center. So if you need more detailed resources, you can visit this to get any product-related questions answered with more than 600 articles. Our Knowledge Base Center is structured based on various topics, as you can see over here, and of course it allows you to also easily search any topic from the top bar over here. Let me close this off and switch my screen over to the presentation. All right, now, since your learners may come with diverse backgrounds, interests, and skill levels, it is essential to move away from generic learning experience and create personalized learning flows to unlock the full potential of your training. And that's what we're going to see today. Now, we're going to do this in a combination of slides, and of course, I'm going to show you some things on the LearnWorlds platform as well. So the most common reason to move to a more personalized journey is if you wish to make your training more effective and efficient, to facilitate practical learning opportunities, to seek flexibility and skill attainment, to tailor learning to each learner's stage, to maximize the learning outcome, and of course, to speak to their own individual needs. Now, after user feedback and research, we've crafted 4 layers of personalization and created practical and useful scenarios for each layer. That adapts to the learning experience and allows you to customize the learning paths, thus helping your users achieve their specific goals. Layer 1 is building a tailored site navigation paths. Layer 2 is educating with customer learning paths. Educate with custom learning paths, We got layer 3 where we share learning content catered to their individual needs. And the final layer 4 is to adapt your message to every single learner. So, let's jump into creating scenarios and examples to customize your learner's learning journey. Here are some of the tools that we are going to be using today. At the far top, we got qualifications. So that is a form presented to users only once after they sign up for the very first time in the school. So it's a unique opportunity for school admins to learn more about their users and make adaptations to the courses, to the navigation options, to the content of the site pages, and so on. Qualification forms are a simple and powerful tool for identifying intentions, preference, and knowledge using all this data to later adapt the learning environment. Then you're going to see custom fields as well. Custom fields are information fields that you want users to complete inside the sign-up form besides their emails and username. They can also be used for identifying user preference or characteristics. Now, you should not add a lot because obviously your sign-up form will be too crowded and too busy. Usually, custom fields are required fields so as to sign up in opposition to the qualification forms, which most times is optional. So custom fields and qualification questions can both be used interchangeably sometimes. Then you're also going to see multiple after login pages. So with multiple after login pages, you can set what different audiences and different segments will see after signing up into your school. So for instance, if you do have some custom sign-up fields that can reveal the intention of the user or goals or the knowledge of the user, or if you're creating qualification form, as we mentioned earlier, that will identify the goals and the preferences of the user. Then you can use that, you can tag users based on the answers, and you can specify which landing page they will see based on the tag. That means that you can have a variety of landing pages for different audiences that are separate, and you can create messages for them that are specific to them. And since we mentioned tags, what are tags? Tags are little keywords that can be attributed to users either automatically based on their actions or manually by the admins. Tags are quite common in CRMs, and they are the most powerful tool for segmenting users and managing different audiences. Tags are going to be today's most important part of this presentation. You're going to see them a lot, and in LearnWorlds, we're offering a tag manager so as to easily manage usage by adding new, merging tags, seeing the usage on a specific one, and a lot more. Then, of course, we're going to see a lot of automations. Automations are workflows that are being triggered based on user behavior. When a trigger is fired, then you can specify which actions you want to happen. For instance, if a user enrolls to a course, then you can assign them with a tag. Or the opposite, if a user is assigned with a specific tag, then you can enroll them to a specific course. Automations are very, very powerful and will be extensively used today. Then you're also going to see visibility settings. Now, the visibility option is a powerful feature that enables users to display or not widgets or sections of the site page to different audiences. For example, visibility enables you to show a button to specific users that have a specific tag, or to show a whole section to users based on their tags. Now, the same applies to ebooks as well. Ebooks also offer visibility settings. Then we also have sign-up approval. So sign-up approval is a feature that enables users to select whether someone can sign up by themselves into the school or whether they need to be accepted by the school admin in order to get access to the courses of the school. When we're activating sign-up approval, that means that someone sends a request to be approved. The use of sign-up approval features is being combined with qualification surveys, so one can request access to the school but also complete a form in which they will share personal preferences. And the last feature is, of course, assessments. Now, LearnWorlds provides probably the most powerful assessment editor in the market with plenty of questions and customizations. The assessment builder enables you to tag users based on their answers and your questions. That means that you can segment your audience based on their knowledge. And of course, this is an important prerequisite for personalization scenarios. So let's move over to the next slide. And let's start. So layer 1 is building tailored site navigation paths. Let's see how we can do that. All right, now many online schools cater to large and diverse audiences who have different needs, however, and interests. Sometimes it can be difficult to ensure that users don't get lost in a sea of irrelevant messages and course offerings. So of course, this can be solved by providing users with pages that specifically serve their own interests. So most schools typically serve big audiences, right? And it's always a huge burden to ensure that users are not going to be lost through your huge course catalog and messages that may be irrelevant to them. So what's the best solution to provide them differentiated pages based on their interests? So these are the 3 steps. And let me share my screen so I can show you. First off, we can create custom sign-up fields, and you'll find that under the site builder and right here where it says sign in, add a sign-up field, and right here it's going to be a drop one where we're asking them about what developer type they are. They could be a front-end engineer, back-end, full stack, and so on. So we're giving them this option. Then based on their answer over here, we can create multiple after login pages and navigate them over there. So here's how that's going to look like. If you go over to the site navigation, you have the option to select what after login page users are going to see based on their tag. So they're going to get the tag from the custom signup field according to their preference, and then they're going to be taken to the relevant after login page. So as you can see, it's going to be a completely different path according to what they opted in the beginning. So here you go. Let's say that you have different pages if they went for front-end engineering or back-end engineering and full-stack engineering. And in those pages, of course, you can share courses that are relevant to whatever they opted in the custom sign-up field. Now let's take a look at another example. Sell more based on your learner's interest. Now, sometimes segmentation and personalization isn't enough. In our first scenario, users specified their intentions. In this scenario, we'll utilize our users' buying patterns to decide which promotional offers would be best to target them with. Buying a course is probably the most clear indication of users' interest, right? So of course, we can use it so as to adjust what we are going to show to these specific users. So what are we going to do here? We're going to set up an automation. When a user enrolls into a course, then we're going to add a tag to them. We're going to create a coupon code. We're going to add that offer into a page, and we're going to choose to only show that offer to users with that specific tag. So let's see how we can do that. All right, so automations, we mentioned them. So over at users, you're going to find automations. So we've created one over here. So when a user is enrolled into a course, you'll see that there's a huge pool of triggers that you can add. Select your course. So if they're enrolled into this, let's say JavaScript course, then this tag is added to those users view framework. Now, let me go over to the next step. Over here, we have created a coupon, and you'll find that under marketing and promotion and coupons, you can create one right here. So we've created a coupon where we offer 50% off to some courses. This is the code that they can use to get that discount. So what we want to do is that we want to add this discount code into a page. So let me show you that. So let's say we're over here at a page and we've added that. You see that here's the information about it. And now if you go over to the actions for this section, you can see that under visibility, you can set it so that it's visible only to users with a specific tag. And of course, we want to set it to this tag, right? To the view framework tag. So now, when a user is enrolled or completed a specific course, then you can give them a discount so that maybe they are going to purchase the next course with a discount. All right, let's take a look at another scenario. Now, sometimes we need to create a controlled and safe environment. We want this code to be available only to learners that meet specific requirements. So in that case, you do not want everyone to be eligible to sign up to your school, right? We want them to submit their information, and then you decide whether they are going to be accepted or not into your program. So how can we do that? Let me switch my screen again. All right, first off, we need to enable what is called sign up approval. You're going to see that under users and setup. So over here, they cannot sign up by themselves, but that needs to be requested. So that's what this is about. Once they do that, their request is going to go right here, right under users where it says sign up request, and you're going to find the requests over here. You can approve them if you select them or reject them. Now, if a user is rejected or approved, they're going to see a specific screen that you can customize over here. For instance, if they got rejected, this is what they're going to see, and of course you can edit this out and customize it. Scenario number 4. Now, product pages usually have two statuses, one for promoting them and one for describing and accessing their content. But you do not want, and usually you cannot create 2 pages for each product. You just need one. So how can you do that? So go over to a courses page, and right here you can add sections, and you can set it based on visibility so that some sections are viewed to enrolled users and some are viewed to unenrolled users. For instance, this section right here, perhaps you only want to show to users that are unenrolled so that they can enroll. You can go to Actions and you can select the visibility to unenrolled users. Same goes over here. Let's say that you have an offer and again, you only want to show this offer to users that are unenrolled, right? So that you can actually promote it to them so they can purchase. Or if somebody is actually already enrolled into the course, then maybe you just want to show them their courses. You can filter this course list and show them the courses they're already enrolled in. Again, if you go over to your visibility settings, instead of all users right here, just opt for enrolled users. And anybody that is not enrolled is not going to see this section. All right, let's take a look at this scenario. Now, we've seen how you can customize your after login page with several ways and provide tailored landing pages to different audiences. However, sometimes based on the learner's progress, you want these landing pages to also perhaps change. So let's assume that you have created 3 different after login pages based on the user's knowledge level. So maybe one for beginners, or one for advanced, and one for experts, and so on. So each page has different messaging, different challenges, and is going to drive users in different ways. So perhaps you want to land the beginning users in the right page, and as users progress, you want to change the landing page. So how can we do that? First things first, head over to your sign up settings under your site builder and add a custom field and ask them about their experience. So that you can determine whether they're beginner, advanced, expert, and so on. So right here, we're asking their, how many years they've been in a specific role. And here are the drop-down options for them. Then based on that, we attribute a tag to them, right? So we're going to use that tag, and then we're going to go over to the site navigation and select different after login pages to show based on the user's tag. So if they opted for 1, 2, or 3 years, then they're in the beginner level, and this is the after login page they're going to go to. If they opt for 4, 5, or 6 years, they're going to go to this page. If they opt for more than 7, they're going to go to this page. So this is how that is going to work based on their experience. Now, let's say that we want to change that because somebody perhaps has gained more experience, more knowledge, and has progress, right? Maybe you want to change their tags. So that's what you can do over here. So right here, we have created an automation. So again, automations are under users. Right here, you can create one. So we're creating the level up automation where if a certificate is awarded, so if a user is now progressing, if they completed a course and they gained this specific certificate, then what we want the system to do is to remove their beginner tag and instead add the advanced tag because this user has now advanced more in their progress and their knowledge. Okay, now let's go to level 2 and educate with custom learning journeys. So a lot of times we need custom learning paths, right? This means that we want someone to follow a very specific path of courses, which is being revealed gradually while the user completes one course at a time. So how can we do that? Let me again switch my screen. And let's say that we have a program with 3 courses. We have a cybersecurity academy, right? And I've created these courses. Now, notice how these 2 are private, meaning are hidden, and this is the only one from the program that is a paid public course. Now, what you want to do is that you want to price the whole program on this course, right? You see that these have 0 pricing, but put the whole price of the program in the first one and keep the rest courses as private. Then, let me show you. You want to create an automation. So go over to your user automation and create one. So what you want to do is that when a user is completing the first course, the one that was public, the cybersecurity first steps, then you want the system to automatically enroll them to the next course, right? The one that is coming right after that, the one that is set in private mode, right? So only users that have completed the first course are going to be able to move over to the next course. And of course, likewise, as soon as they finish this course, and let me show you the automation for that as well. So add another automation, and when users finish that second course, which is cybersecurity for the Internet of Things, then again, you're going to have the system, you're going to add the system, make it to enroll them to the last course of the program, which is ethical hacking and so on. So very easily done. You can set your courses path with prerequisite courses like so. So create the program courses, keep only the first one as a paid one, keep the other 2 or 3, how many they are, in private mode, and then just add the automations and have the system just do it for you automatically. Scenario 5. All right, now when we're talking about internal training or about employees, we are talking about learners that have to complete specific courses that they have been pre-decided by management. They do not decide it on their own. So we do not actually have an open exploratory academy, but rather an academy where the managers have decided which courses each employee should follow. So when the user signs up to the academy, they have to just automatically enroll to the right courses and see that course, right? They do not need to see the whole catalog because they have a specific curriculum. So let's see how we can do that. The first thing you want to do is use bulk actions. So if you go over to users and all users, you'll find bulk actions at the top. So you can do a few things. You can import the users all in one. And while importing them with an Excel file, you can also tag them. So let's say that perhaps I'm adding users from my HR or management department, let's say HR. So I'm adding these users into the platform and I am tagging them using this tag. Now, after I do that, I'm going to go over and create an automation. So under users and automations, just create one from here. And what I want to do is that I want to have the systems to automatically enroll those users to the correct course, right? So I've added the users, I've tagged them with this tag, and now I select where will the system automatically enroll these users. So it's going to enroll them to, I don't know, Leadership 101, or if you have any other courses for HR, you can select that from the list. And that's what this is going to do. All right, now we have mentioned performance results and that the identifications of learners' knowledge level is one of the biggest parameters for personalizing content. We've seen that. So let's say that you're inside a course, you're completing an assessment activity, and you have answered a couple of questions wrongly, and perhaps maybe you failed. So this is an important trigger for helping the specific user by sending them maybe customized email notifications. So how can you do that? Of course, again, we're going to make use of automation. So go over to your users over here and create an automation where you will re-encourage students when they fail an assessment. Now, this is a ready-made template that we have, but of course you can create it from scratch as well. So what do we have here? So when an assessment is submitted, that's what we're selecting as a trigger. Then we select the exact assessment. It's called assessment time. What is the system going to do then? It's going to send the user with an email. So this is the email. It says, don't get discouraged. Let's improve together. You can customize the email and just give them the strength to try again. Even if they failed, maybe even offer some extra resources or just some words of encouragement. So this is what you can do if they fail the exam. Now, this next scenario is the exact opposite. So you do know that someone succeeded in an exam and correctly answered several questions. Now, again, this is not of a low learning value. This is a significant learning event which can be exploited so as to celebrate this hard work from the learner's side and even challenge them to go for the next steps. So similar to the last scenario, again, we're creating an automation, but this time is if they pass the assessment. So when the assessment is submitted, select the assessment and set it to send an email to the user. Customize your email, just congratulate them, give them some words of affirmation, acknowledge their success and so on. And of course, we want this to be done only if the assessment is passed, right? In the previous example, we had the assessment as failed down here, but this time we're sending this when it's passed. Layer 3, share learning content catered to their needs, to the specific needs of the user. So let's see what we have here. Now, when we're talking about personalized learning content, usually we refer to showing different learning content to different learners based on their experience or learning styles or even knowledge level. There's a lot of literature research, especially about adaptive ebooks. In LearnWorlds, you can achieve similar results You can show specific sections or widgets in your ebooks to different students, providing exactly what they need and avoiding information overload. In this example, we'll see how the interest of the learners can influence what they read inside the course. So over here, we have a qualification question, where, for instance, we are asking users whether or not they're gluten-free. And according to their answer in the qualification question, you see that we're giving them a specific tag. If they are a vegan, same. If you go over to the tags, if they're vegan, they get the vegan tag, and so on. How can we use this information? Now, if you go over to the course's ebook, and this is exactly where we are right now, you'll find a variety of sections. So this section right here is talking about veganism, right? So for instance, if you go into the actions, you'll see that this ebook section, now remember, this is inside the course. This is into the ebook of the course. You can decide what users are going to see this part, this learning material. So this material on veganism is only going to be shown on users with a tag vegan, the tag that they got into the qualification form. Quite the same with gluten over here. If you're interested in that, you'll see that you'll be able to see that again if you add the tag over here. There you go. Now let's assume that we do know the learner type of the student based on an assessment or based on how they specify their learning preferences. So we do know whether they are a visual learner or a text learner and so on. So based on that, we will create some ebook sections, 2 versions of them, one for the text readers, one for the visual ones, one for the audio ones, and so on. So let's take a look. All right, so right here again, we have a qualification question. So you can add your questions over here. You can add any questions that you want to. There's quite a big pool for the questions that you can add. And right here, we are asking them, what is your preferred learning style? And again, we have a multiple choice questions, visual, auditory, reading and writing, kinesthetic. And according to their answer, as you can see, we have assigned specific tags. Now, how can we use these? You can go over to either a page section or the course's landing page, and based on their preference over there, you can select what they can do. So for instance, right here we have a section, is your learning style auditory? If it is, then perhaps we can add some audio files for them to listen. Now, if you go over to the visibility settings of this section, you'll see that this is set to only be visible with users that have the auditory tag. If you were a user with the kinesthetic tag, then you'd be able to see another section that has that tag, and so on. Now, besides the pages, you can also do that right within the ebook. So for instance, again here, are you more of a visual learner? So for those users that have the visual tag, then we're going to take them and they're going to see this one, which is more related to their option. Scenario 12, work on the knowledge gaps. Now, as we've mentioned in the beginning, personalization can also happen based on the learner's real progress, their performance, and not only based on preferences and goals. This is probably even more important. So if the performance does identify that a learner has some difficulties or maybe a misconception based on the responses of an assessment, then you could and should help the specific learner with more resources and better messaging. So how can we do that? One way is to create a form. So create a marketing form and add a question. So right here, we've added this question. Again, forms support a ton of different question types. This right here is just a simple multiple choice. So what marketing field is more lucrative? So right here, they have to select one. And then again, based on their response, they get tagged. So if they go for the wrong response, then they have a specific tag and so on. Then we want to create an automation flow. So go over to users and automations, and right here. So when a user selects the all the above option, this is their tag, then you want to send them a specific email. So right here, for instance, we said that we noticed that you opted for the wrong option. Let's say they got it wrong. And it looks like you may need some more information. Go to this page to find out more. So we're just redirecting them over there to our resource pages so that they can find more information over there. Scenario 13, offer bonus resources to reward your learners. As mentioned, enrollment and completion of a course are the strongest indication of interest in a topic, right? So we used that before so as to make offers and promote specific courses. Now, why don't we use it for sharing adequate learning content? At the end, of course, our ultimate goal is to have a happy learner that learned the most and got a great education. So in this scenario, we will exploit user enrollments to courses so as to reward them with extra resources based on their preferences and with the hope that they will learn more by having access to related material. So we're starting off with an automation again from here, which is called course tag. So if a user is enrolled to a specific course, let's say that you have a cooking school, so the course is called Whisk and Learn. So if they're enrolled into that course, we tag them with this tag. So users are enrolled into this course, they are assigned with this tag. Now, what we can do is that we can use that tag again in visibility settings. So let's say that you either have a page or a course page, or again in an ebook, there's a number of places you can use visibility settings. And perhaps based on their tag, based on the course that they enrolled, you can offer more material. So right here, we are offering some recipes. So are you interested in more yummy recipes? And based on that, right here, you have an original pizza recipe. And you get to show that only to users with this tag. And we also have a shrimp penne recipe. Now, obviously, you can see that it's a file and they can download it from there, and you get to decide who to show this to. Now, maybe you don't want to show this. Let me change the visibility settings over here. Maybe you want to show this or hide this from users with a specific tag. You can even do that from here. Scenario 14, adjust the learner's content based on self-reflection. Studies show that the user's self-evaluation usually correlates highly with their real performance. So it is always a good idea to use short self-evaluation so as to adjust the learning content of a course based on the user's level of understanding. So how can you do that? Let's create a confidence self-assessment question. Let's say that we've added a question like this. Again, you can go right here, add any questions from the list. So we've added this and we've asked them, how confident are you that you've understood the content so far? So of course, based on their answer on the hearts level that they're going to give, they are going to be tagged with not at all, a bit, confident, very, and an expert. And of course, you guessed it right, we're going to use these tags. Like I said, tags and automations are going to be heavily used, as well as visibility settings. So of course, we're going to create an automation based on those tags, and we're going to adjust the content as the learner progresses. So what does that mean? So we've made it so that when a tag is added, this tag, high, so if somebody highly rates themselves, then what we're going to do is that we're going to add another tag to that user. So if a user assesses themselves highly, essentially, then you can adjust, you can set it so that the user gets this tag. Now, what is this tag? It's called skip last 2 units. Because if you gave yourself a high assessment, then that means that you're probably an expert. And you know what? We can use this tag. So we're now tagging users based on their tag with this tag. So let's see how we can use that. Head over to an ebook, and let's say that this ebook has quite a few options, but maybe it even has some beginner type of information. Now, if the user assessed themselves as highly knowledgeable, gave them all the 5 hearts, whatever that was, then maybe you want to hide these sections from that user because they probably already know that, right? So you want to keep this content based on their level of knowledge and progress. So what we've done over here is that we've actually chosen to hide these sections in the ebook instead. So we got marketing for beginners, and in the actions this time, in visibility, we didn't choose to tag them to show it based on the tag, but we chose to hide the element based on this tag. So if they have assessed themselves highly, with the automation, we tag them with a skip last 2 units, and we use this tag to hide those beginner information, this beginning type of information. All right, and now we're off to layer 4, adapt your message to every learner. Now, it is crucial that your learner feels seen, that they feel welcome and friendly into your academy. So this can be achieved with some more personalization when it comes to the community, to the communication. So how can you welcome new users upon enrollment based on the course they enrolled? So let's take a look. The first thing you want to do is head over to your academy settings under the email notifications right here. Now, of course, your school also have some ready-made email templates that are going to go out based on specific triggers. For instance, when someone enrolls into a free course, into a paid course, and so on. You want to keep this off, so deactivate those. Don't keep them active. Once you do that, you want to go over to automations. And let's say that perhaps you have a parenting academy and you want to send out a custom email if users enroll to a specific course. Now, of course, it's a sensitive topic, so we definitely want to be careful with the words. Again, make them feel welcome and make them feel comfortable into your academy. So let's see the triggers over here. When a user is enrolled into a course, select the course from your list, new parents. Then we want to send an email to that user, add your subject, and then add in your email. Of course, this is customizable, right? So right here we have being a new parent is overwhelming on its own. This course is going to provide you with this and that information you need to become a first-time parent and so on. So whatever you feel like is relative to your course, you can add it into this email over here. All right, scenario 16 suggests next steps after a course completion. Now, sometimes just sending an email just to welcome them isn't enough. Let's say that a user has completed a course. So maybe based on that, you then want to send different emails. And this time we are going to make use of the qualification form. So here is a question for them. Are you a first-time parent? Let's say that we are on the same academy as earlier. So here are the answers. New parent, yes. Again, here's the tag based on that. Or the other option, no, I already have a few kids. So what did we do after this? Now, again, in the notification settings for the emails, so under settings and notification emails, you want to go over to course emails where it says completing a course, and you want to make sure that this is deactivated, right? We do not want this to be active. Keep this deactivated. Once that is off, you want to create an automation. So what are we creating here? It's quite similar to the previous one. So when a user is enrolled into this course, we want to send an email to them, right? However, we want to send that email only if, so you see that you can add more conditions into an automation. So you can send that email only if the user has a specific tag according to the qualification form. So if they are a new parent or if they're not, then based on their answer, based on that tag, you can set a specific email. And the last and final scenario, which as you can see is coming soon, is something that has been also requested, where you can motivate users with personalized push notifications. Now, sometimes users may be inactive for an X period of time for any reason. It could be a personal reason, or maybe they're just, I don't know, they're lacking into their education. So maybe you just want to give them a little nudge, a little wake-up call, if you may, or just a little reminder. So how can you do that? Let me jump my screen again. And of course, the answer is with automation. So again, go over to your automations, and this time you're gonna go over to the trigger and scroll all the way down where it says inactivity. As you can see, these are grayed out. The system won't allow me to select them just yet because they haven't released, but once you do, you're going to be able to select these, and you can trigger users that haven't visited the school in the last X days, and perhaps reach out and send an email, or users that haven't visited a specific course in the last X days, or users that haven't visited a course via the mobile app, right? If you want to specify this, or users that haven't opened the mobile app in the last X days. So you can set automations over here. Of course, another way for inactivity is directly through the push notifications on the mobile app. So you can do that also from here. I'm not going to go there, but just keep that in mind. Now, also besides this, and I mentioned that as well, when creating an automation, you can start blankly, or you can use any of these ready-made templates over here. And you'll see that there's this one where you can re-engage with an inactive user, and more, of course, are coming up. And that's pretty much it. So let me switch my screen back into my camera so you can see me. And that's it. Thank you very, very much for joining in. I do hope that this was helpful, that this was a helpful session and webinar. Now, if there are any questions that the support agents didn't have the time to attend to or answer, do not worry. You can always get back to us via email over at support@learnworlds.com. Our lovely support operates 24/7, so feel free to shoot your questions over there. And of course, like in the beginning, you're also going to be seeing a small little paw in your screen. Again, we would highly appreciate it if you took the time to answer that as well. So again, thank you very much for joining. If you don't have a trial with us yet, I highly suggest creating one just so that you get to experience it on your own time from the inside. So thank you for joining, and take care. Bye-bye.